Welcome to part 2 of tying steelhead flies using ostrich feathers.
Take your time here, make sure you're doing adequate work. No reason to sit down and take all this time to tie flies if it ends up the end result isn't something you're confident in fishing. So take your time here. Tie that off. Four or five good hard thread wraps. Get that out of there. Okay, so we've got the body of the fly. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, as my friend Mike would say, and that is going to be our barred ostrich, which is the star of the show here at this point at this fly. Again, Montana Fly Company premium ostrich purple would work just fine with this, but I am going to use a hairline product that has just come out, that we just got here in the shop, that we've been using a lot. Barred plume pieces. These are really great. Dyed ostrich. They've got long, thin barbels. The dye job is really great again, and this is something that, you know, again, boy does ostrich move in the water, so we use a lot of it around here at the fly fishing shop. Now I've got a little bit of different length of ostrich here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it, but I'll go ahead and take a few moments here to make sure all of these barbels are of the same length or close to it at that. I'll gauge how much of it I want here on this fly and kind of length I'm looking for, and I'm going to spin it into a dubbing loop and get that cylindrical effect that we're getting on a lot of these flies that are being tied in the round as opposed to a winged fly. So like so. Get that loop opened up. Pop the barred ostrich in there. Take your time spreading this out. We want about a wrap and a half around the shank, so get it good and spread out so that we're going to get full coverage over the fly. Start to give her a spin. As things tighten up, you can release that ostrich. So make sure that that's tied in good and tight. Close that loop up real good and start to wrap the ostrich. Same feather folding technique we were using earlier. Just fold that ostrich back as you go. Get a nice full coverage around the fly with that ostrich, and this is going to be a pretty sparse one here. Less is more, okay? The less you use, the better this stuff is going to be able to swim and perform for you in the water. So less is more on this stuff. Okay, kind of clean up our head area here as this fly is coming to an end. I'm going to use some flash in this. I know Jeff probably used something else for the original pattern. I'm going to use purple holographic Flashaboo. Something that really stands out in the water, you know, those silver flecks with that purple, man, it grabs every little bit of sunlight out there. So I will usually take about 8 strands of it, 8 to 10 strands of that purple holographic Flashabou. Okay, I'm going to run it down the near side of the shank to begin with. Tie that in. I'm going to fold this side over. And I'm going to start to tie that down the far side of the shank. After having done so, pull all this excess back and make sure you get a good tidy head out of it. Sometimes I'll change thread colors here, and you know, an orange head or a pink head or something like that can really give it that egg sucking leech effect without having to feel like you're cheating and actually fish an egg sucking leech. Okay, something that I do, I know it's not done on the commercial pattern, but I'm going to add a little bit of a guinea collar on that thing. Just to finish things off, this is a dyed hot purple guinea. Again, I want a good stiff collar on this fly. I'm going to go ahead and give it 2 or 3 wraps. I like this big-eyed guinea, you know, large spotted guinea. It kind of gives it this almost like an eyed look, like a jungle cock eye. I'll start to wrap that around the shank here. Again, using that feather folding technique. Sometimes guinea's a little stiff and you've got to work at it a little bit more. But I think we're getting to the end of this. We're going to get the end result we want out of it. Alright, once you've got your collar secured, build that head up just a little bit more. Give it a couple of good whip finishes here. Okay. Not some of the pretty creations that I like to come up with once in a while, but certainly a great fishing fly, something that's really got a really fishy look to it, something that's caught us a lot of steelhead over the years. Again, we'll hand it to Jeff Hickman on that one, but I'll go in here, make sure your angle